Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Wang, the President, as a candidate, promised that he would return the jurisdiction of the export licensing of semi-automatic weapons from the Commerce Department back to the Department of State, from which the Trump administration took it. Now, of course, the President can do this by simple regulation without the need for legislative approval, but until that happens, the Department is providing no information to Congress as to what lethal weapons, including sniper rifles and assault rifles, are being sold to what countries or foreign persons, and in what quantities and under what conditions. What's the status of the implementation, to your knowledge, of the President's promise to the American people?
Senator, thank you for this question. The mission of enforcement and compliance is to counter unfair trade practices. On the matters you speak, I know that other interagencies are working on it, and so I don't have the particular details to provide you on that.
Do you support the President's promise?
Senator, thank you for allowing me to have that follow-up. I know enough to know that there are very complex issues involved in this, and at this time, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to comment.
Okay, so I didn't ask you about the complex issues. The President made a promise. Do you support, you're a presidential nominee. Do you support the President's promise?
Senator, if confirmed, I would want to learn more about this issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Until the President's promise is implemented, will you commit to provide to the Committee of Jurisdiction over Arms Sales specific information about what semi-automatic weapon sales are being considered for export, including the foreign recipient, the numbers of weapons, conditions, and end-use monitoring measures, as well as the exports that have been approved?
Senator, again, thank you for this question. I would
Yeah,
have
please do me a favor. Don't thank me for the question anymore. That only takes time. Can you give me an answer, yes or no?
Senator, I do not know enough about this issue to provide a comment either
Well,
way.
you're going to have jurisdiction in part over this issue, so if you don't know much about it, that's a problem. Let me just say, I expect you're not the first nominee in this field that is unwilling to give an answer. Now, I've tried to be supportive of the President's nominees, but I will not be able to be supportive if I can't get a clear answer. So I hope that Commerce gets the message. Let me ask you this on a different matter. One of the main weaknesses of the Phase 1 deal with China was that it lacked any sort of enforcement measures to ensure China held up their end of the bargain. As a result, as of August, China has only met 62% of its purchase commitments under the Phase 1 deal. If confirmed, you would play a significant role in the enforcement of U.S. trade policy. Do you agree that without proper enforcement measures, any deal with China is likely to be less effective?
Senator, I would like to clarify that the mission of enforcement and compliance is to counter unfair trade practices such as anti-dumping and countervailing duty. The objective of enforcement and compliance is to find the existence and magnitude of dumping and subsidization. On the issues you speak of the Phase 1 deal, I know that other offices within Commerce and the interagency, including the U.S. Trade Representative, are working on that issue now. If confirmed, I would want to learn more about what role enforcement and compliance can have in that process. But I do want to make clear what the mission of enforcement
What do you
and
think your job's going to be? Maybe you can edify me. What do you think your job's going to be if you're confirmed?
As I just, Senator, thank you. The primary responsibility of my position as Assistant Secretary is to ensure that the trade remedy statute, anti-dumping, countervailing duties, safeguards, suspension agreements are rigorously enforced.
And trade remedies require enforcement, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Well,
Senator.
part of my question is the enforcement of agreements that we have, including the enforcement of the agreements we have with China. If there is no enforcement, then it's insignificant as to what we agree to. Is that at least something you can agree to?
Senator, I also want to make clear here that the number of anti-dumping countervailing duty orders on China is significant. It counters the effective and targeted practices that China undertakes to undermine American businesses and U.S. workers. So in that matter, enforcement and compliance has rigorously and transparently enforced the U.S. AD/CVD law.
Let me ask you one last question, see if you can convince me to vote for your nomination. Will you commit to ensuring that resolving the softwood lumber dispute with Canada continues to be a top priority?
Senator, I am recused from that matter because of my representation at my current place of employment.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, this has been very elucidating. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Menendez. Next will be Senator Thune on the web.